Bauer, marriage and family therapist.
I'm Patricia Young, licensed clinical social worker. Today we're going to talk about what do you do when you have conflict in relationships. You know, when one person has one need that doesn't work with the other person's needs. It's called competing needs. So Laura and I had the gift of being able to work through this in the last week or two. And what happened is, as we've told you, Laura and I use Marco Polo a couple times a day. We're a little addicted, but it's a great tool. We'll do another live on that.
We're not getting any money from Marco Polo, I promise.
But what happened is Laura had been on a trip the week before, and we continued to polo the way that we normally do. And then the following weekend, she went away to a convention. And the first day she was gone, we poloed. But then for 2 days, I didn't hear from her. And it started to bring up some stuff for me. And I thought, you know, she's at a convention. I should wait until she gets back. I don't want to upset her. But I thought, this is affecting me and I need to say something. So I sent a text just saying, like, hey, I really would have appreciated if you would have acknowledged that you weren't going to have time to polo because I'm feeling kind of hurt and left out.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then I got the polo on the way to the bathroom. Right.
I didn't know that.
And it was really fine, right? And you know, one of the things I think that we were excited about talking about is conflict is inherent in all relationships. Mm-hmm. And for most of us, we're raised to be scared of conflict because the modeling we got for conflict was scary. Shutting down, anger, withdrawal, punishing, all of that stuff. And so I received the polo, and the way, to me, it wasn't the fact that she communicated, it was how you communicated it. Mm-hmm. So how you communicated was she took responsibility for your own feelings and then created an opening. And when you do it that way, my heart softens and I don't feel upset at all about the fact that you had needs and were quote upset with me or upset about the situation. So then my heart just wants to reply and go, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Not from I did something wrong, I'm sorry, but from yeah, that sucks. I don't want that for you.
And I think that I'm pretty good about owning my stuff. So I think that what I said was like, I know you're gone. I know you're busy. I'm not expecting you to do anything differently. Mm-hmm. But I'm feeling hurt. Really, I felt abandoned. And we've talked about how our attachment injuries, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a therapist, if you've been in therapy, like we all have attachment injuries and those are going to come up in our relationships.
Right.
You need to be in a relationship with someone that you can talk about the injuries that come up because if not, it triggers the other person and it just kind of goes downhill.
Right.
But, and then it was funny because you had responded like right away.
Right.
And so my response was like, I'm not asking you to change your behavior. I'm just needing to let you know what's going on.
And the fun part of it was it just brought kind of the relationship back into awareness. And for me, I was going to something that was really fun, was taking a lot of my attention. And so it would be really easy to just fall into whatever's going on, not because I don't care, but because I think it's always easier to be the one going to something fun than the person who gets left.
Right.
And so it just brought it back to my awareness of, oh, when I have space, check in, not from a should, but because I wanted to, and when I can, I did.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a myth that if we tell someone how we're feeling, that means that their behavior has to change, and that's the expectation.
Right.
And so some of the scenarios were, you know, I'm afraid like you're going to think like, well, I'm away at a convention, like, don't you know I'm doing stuff? Why are you being so needy? Or, you know, you're going to get angry that, you know, like, can't I just be gone? And like, why do I have to keep touching base with you? And I really wasn't coming from a place of expecting you to do anything different.
Right.
But when it occurred to me, I thought, this just doesn't feel good. And I did have that fear of like, I don't want you to get mad. I don't want you to have feelings. But it's like, I needed to just say, I really wish you would have said that you weren't going to be available because like, I'm waiting.
Right. Right. And you know, so what's just dropping in for me? So I wonder for people kind of a couple of things. Are they relating? Are you out there like listening to this going, oh my God, I so relate to that? Or are you not relating because you're not even aware to look for this? Because it's so, we go unconscious, not on purpose, but we go unconscious and we just think this is who we are. And so one of the reasons why Patricia and I want to do these kinds of things is, you know, we slow the whole process down and then we take the microscope on it and we blow it up so we can look at the really, the nuances of what's going on for us as human beings, because there are complex processes going on for us as human beings all the time. Mm-hmm. And when we can be present to that without any judgment or shame, it frees up the space to connect.
Yeah, and it's interesting, for the first day or two, I had my defenses up. You know, my defense was like, I'm fine, I don't need it, I don't need to polo you, I don't even need you. I mean, that those are attachment wounds, and our society really does not like us being interdependent. We're really supposed to be independent and not need anybody, not want anything. And I think that's where we have fear around sharing our needs because of, you know, all of the ways that you could have responded. And for me, feeling like, I don't want to need you.
Right.
And the truth is, there was a hole in my routine of what I'm accustomed to in our communication. Right. And so once I got past the defense, right. like I was really missing it. And then I felt kind of hurt and angry that, you know, you weren't able to say like, hey, I'm going to be tied up. I can't do this.
Right. And you know, one of the things Patricia and I talk about a lot of the times is what's going on for us. There's a story, and it's the story that creates the suffering. And so when you could name it and then just check it out and claim like, gosh, I have this need or I have this want, it frees up the human to have their experience,
yeah,
rather than be run by the interpretation of the experience.
Well, and then I think we fight against it.
Right.
You know, that I tend to have pretty strong feelings about things, and it wasn't until I accepted those things, and we'll do some more lives about this, but I think had I come from a place of like, I don't need her, I don't want her, or, you know, you're off having fun and you don't even care about me, and, you know, it's only when you have stuff that's more fun than I am,
right.
You know, that I would have stayed in that place of pain and suffering, and instead I just said like, hey, I'm feeling kind of hurt.
Right.
The other thing that came up is like the part of me said like, I'm not going to say anything, and when you come back and pull on me, I'm going to wait 2 days and make you suffer, because, you know, there's a part of me that felt really hurt about that. And I'm really good about calling myself out on this. And I texted Laura and said like, I'm kind of wanting to punish you.
Right. And it's such a common place, right? So I've heard this, I don't know who's the original author of this, but hurt people hurt, right? So it's really from that place of hurt that I come up with whatever that defense mechanism. So some people snap back, some people withdraw, some people get sarcastic, some people get passive aggressive, some people are directly aggressive, and I'm sure there are many other ways I'm not even naming. So
right.
It absolutely, it halts and it intervenes in that process of, I'm already hurt, so now I'm going to hurt and continue
right.
to damage the relationship.
And it comes from a place, like for me, of when I was little and didn't have the words and I felt hurt and angry, that I couldn't say like, I
right.
feel hurt and angry. And so because I don't have the words, even as an adult, it triggers that feeling of like, I feel pain, you can't, I can't tell you about my pain, you can't hear my pain,
right.
so I just want to hurt you back.
Right.
And being able to name that was what was going on made me not have to act out on it.
100%. And then the relationship is still, there's nothing to repair from. So a lot of times the way we respond to our hurts ends up causing these secondary traumas. And then a lot of people don't have the tools to repair.
Right.
And so now we have injuries upon injuries upon injuries upon injuries, and they just, you know, pile on each other. And then we're wondering why we're so hurt, why the relationship feels so damaged, why we keep cycling around the same fights.
Right. Right.
And this can happen in it does happen in all relationships.
Yep.
Friendships, intimate, romantic relationships, familial,
work relationships. You know, if you feel like
Kids.
You're not getting acknowledged from your boss for something that you did,
right?
That, you know, you might feel hurt, or, you know, you work on a project with a coworker and your coworker gets credit
right.
and you don't, and you feel like, well, hey, what about me? But you feel like, I can't say anything, that's too petty.
Yes.
Your feelings are your feelings.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things that I don't know if we've said it to each other explicitly, but I know we agree, is all relationships can be healthy and thriving, but they need the right skills, and they need when I say right, they need effective, helpful skills. And so, you know, it's great when both, you know, you and the other person have the skill set, and we can still put this into place with people who don't have it.
Right.
It's harder, it's trickier,
right.
but it can be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending. I know. I was thinking of other topics as we were talking.
I know.
So thank you so much for spending time with us. Our wish is that we will model imperfection for you, which we did when it started, because I was turning the fan off so it wasn't so noisy. So that you can give yourself permission to be perfectly imperfect and very human. If you find this valuable, please share this.
Right. Yeah. So we really need your help. We think we believe this is really helpful and empowering, and really we want everybody to have access to this information. So share it, like it, comment, tell us what you think, give us your feedback.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.